Listen, I know it's Holy Week, but I have like the dearest friends, and it's so funny. My husband Colin was like, why do you have all these little gift cards? Like, what are all these gift cards from? Why do you keep getting coffee?" Well, we'll get to this in Magnify 90. I am an addict. I love my lattes, and it's something I need to work on. I get it. However, I have two delightful friends. Well, I have many delightful friends, but two of my friends, Courtney and Katie, both sent me gift cards for sleep training and becoming a mom of a 7-year-old. So that's why I'm drinking this. And let me tell you, sleep training has been a cross for me, and we're not even through it yet, and it's been a few weeks, and so here we are. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I already recorded this, but then I was sitting in adoration, and all of these other amazing insights from Magnify 90 and Lent just popped through my brain, and I was like, I'm gonna have to trash that. Good thing I'm not married to my work, and I can redo it. I just want to say that I'm not gonna do Magnify 90 justice. The only way you're going to be able to experience it is by doing it yourself. My goal with this video is to share with you some insights, some takeaways, and kind of what Magnify 90 is about, in hopes that it answers a lot of your questions that I've received. I'm Mackenzie. Thank you for watching this video. So, welcome. Okay, Magnify 90. This is a book by Kayleen Brown, and listen, you don't have to do the book. I don't think it's a rule, but it was so fruitful. She goes through the virtues. Every week you focus on one virtue. So for example, meekness and patience was one week. Zeal, industriousness, never thought about that one before. Docility, magnanimity, gratitude, affability, moderation, and we're finishing this last 6 days of Magnify 90 with perseverance in the way of the cross. So friends, Magnify 90 is 90 days of hard work, I guess, is what you could say. It's about diving deeper into the spiritual life and really asking God to work on you and grow you and take you to the hard places and really honestly see yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of rules. I don't even want to call them rules. It's just like a guideline of how to do Magnify 90. No social media. When I first tell someone about Magnify 90, they think it's the hardest thing is that no social media. Yes, this is the longest I've ever not even opened the app of Instagram, truly. But that wasn't the hardest thing for me, and I'll get there. No social media. Fasting from meat on Fridays. Saying Mary's Magnificat first thing in the morning. My soul magnifies the Lord. It's fasting from makeup on Wednesdays. Fasting from shopping, unless it's something you really need. Monthly confession. Weekly adoration. Daily mass. No snacking. Offer up a whole day for a person. All the little inconveniences, your prayer, everything is for that person. No media of any kind. No movies, no TV, no news. And prayer. So much silence. Daily mass, I said that. The daily rosary. Switching off between the litanies of humility and the litany of trust every other day, which has been so powerful. And of course, reading this every morning. Those are the rules of Magnify 90. Yeah, it seems like a lot and it's heavy. The men's version, you would know, is Exodus 90, the cold showers, the weekly meetings. With Magnify 90, we didn't have the weekly meetings, but I had a group of girlfriends and I that did it together and held each other accountable, and that was really, really special. I think my favorite part was beginning the year off with these women and sharing our goals and our fears and what our words were for the year and the virtues we wanted to really work on, being vulnerable about our shortcomings and where we've, messed up during Magnify 90. The hardest thing for me, I think, if I'm going to be super real, is seeing my vanity. And not with the makeup as much as with shopping and thinking I need things that I don't need at all. And so that was quite a wake-up call right away. Another thing was praying the litanies of humility and trust every day were so powerful. Really sitting on one line and carrying that through the day. I don't know what I expected. I expected it to be difficult, but I like hard things and I like growing. So I thought, okay, great. We're just going to, grin and bear it and do it. But it was so much more than that. I think the best way I can explain it is there were times during these 90 days that I found myself in such stillness and my mind wasn't running and I wasn't going a million places. I am a goer and a to-doer, and there were so many moments that wasn't a thing. I would sit there and I remember multiple times just nursing or sitting in a chair. Like, when do you sit? When you're a woman, not even a mom, a woman. And I would sit and just be sitting and looking out the window. The girls would be playing, and I would just watch a bird fly by and just take it in. God's creation. Nothing else, no looming to do, no mind racing, no thinking about 1,000 people that I just scrolled through on Instagram. Like, none of that. It was just peace. I can confidently say I've never had more peace in my life than this Lent, than this time, than this season. And so, it begs the question, how are you going to adjust your life after Magnify 90? Like, it truly felt like I walked through a door, the Magnify 90 door on January 1st, and I'm living in this space, this like peaceful, Pustinia, prayerful, just secluded place where nothing mattered, and there were boundaries, and no one knew what I was doing, and I could just be with God so many times a day. Yes, I have a whole family, and yes, I have so many responsibilities in the home, but truly that all still flowed so nicely, actually flowed better, because my focus was so obvious that the whole day is structured around my rule of life, really. If you're not familiar with what a rule of life is, I hope I don't explain it wrong, you can Google it, but it's kind of planning your whole day around prayer. So when you wake up, the first thing you do, I do at least, is have quiet time in prayer. Throughout my day, there's little moments like the Divine Mercy at 3 or the Rosary during nap time. And then night prayer, which I have not been good at. In this Holy Week and after Lent, we'll be getting back in those habits of praying together as a family. But you see, it's a structure. It's like my whole day isn't on my hands and knees. Like, I don't have the capacity, but it's structured around going to adoration, going to daily mass with my kids. That has been the most beautiful thing. My 2-year-old is crazy at mass, but it's only 30 minutes, and you get such a nugget of the gospel and the homily, and you get to just take it with your day. It really is the food for my day. All this to say, like, so much peace has come in this practice, and so much clarity and certainty of my purpose. That word detachment, that was my word for the year in 2017 when I had Therese, my firstborn. And only now in 2024 do I feel like I finally understand what that word means in my life. The joy of just being present in the moment. And I refuse after Easter to let that stuff go away. So how will I adjust? I don't know the boundaries I'm going to put up with my phone, and I don't know how many minutes I'm going to allow myself media and what have you, but I'm going to take it day by day, little by little, poco a poco. The whole point of Magnify 90 is that you don't lose those habits. Like, you're building these amazing habits, and so to take them with you. Of course, we don't want to binge right after. We don't want to be like, yay, alcohol now. I can drink a glass of wine every night. Like, that will not be a thing for me. And then there's some things that you shouldn't go back to. And so I'm kind of discerning, like, what does that look like? Something I want to continue is weekly mass with my girls. It's just been so powerful. Yes, a mess at times, but so good. Another thing I will not stop doing is weekly adoration. Just being in the presence of Jesus every week and literally giving him all that I have and saying, these are the things, Christ, that are giving me so much anxiety. I don't know what to do with them, but you do. Here you go. And really training myself to not talk and not chatter and not have a monkey mind, but just just listen. Another thing is, with Instagram, being a creator, it's hard. Being creative, it's hard. There is no such thing as balance. And I'm just going to say it. There is no such thing as balance. There are seasons for things. So truly just getting on social media, producing and not consuming. You get used to just like being at the ready for anyone at any time with our phones. They've trained us to be that way. And I'm not really like that anymore because the phone is not in my hand at all times. Like, I leave it upstairs most days. So just continuing that practice of being apart from it and being present to the people in front of me. I'm really feeling free, and I haven't felt this free in a while, and only Christ can bring us true freedom. So I will continue to grow in those places and continue to chip away, as painful as it is. That's one of the things that some of our friends, my friends and I here talked about, is when you're growing, like the enemy wants to come in and tear you down and attack those places. And we saw that in so many moments, like things would just go wrong. Suffering is going to happen, and it's uniting it to the cross. That has been super powerful. So just like to not be afraid and say, yeah, I might have hard things in this life. I will. That is certain. That is a certain thing. I will have hard things in this life. And I will suffer. And I will have wounds that I'm going to continue to work through until I make it to the next life. But these are all gifts, right? If we can give them over to Him fully and let Him tend to those places, peace comes, and it just does. And so if you're interested, grab the book. I really do think you should grab the book. I think that's like a must. Journal about it. And yeah, all the things. Happy Holy Week. Happy Easter. I can't wait to celebrate with all of you.